go. It's going. It's going. This one after this one. This one after this one. Can you share the book of Genesis? Genesis. Genesis chapter 17. Verse 4. Verse 4 to 5. He said, this is my covenant with you, Abraham. I will make you the father of multitude of nations. Which means it was for Abraham, but it transformed now. Not only Abraham, but it's going by the children. Verse 5. What is more, I am changing your name. It will no longer be Abraham. Instead, you will be called Abraham, for you will be the father of many nations. Can you highlight? Can you show also verse 6? He said, I will make you extremely fruitful. Your descendants will become many nations, and kings will be among them. Which means any president you know in the world, they are the sons of Abraham. Every leader you know, any leader. He say your children, they will be kings. Will be king among them. Any king you know, any person is president, is a son, or a president is a woman, is the daughter of Abraham. Can you highlight verse 7? You say, I will confirm my covenant with you and your descendants after you from generation to generation. Highlight verse 7. This is the everlasting covenant. I will always be your God and the God of your descendants after you. You see, that is a blessing. God blessed Abraham first. It was him, because he keep on believing it will become for his son and the land. Because he keep on believing, now your wife. When God he called you first. He called you first. It doesn't mean he called your wife. Your wife is there to help you. But because you keep on continuing to believe, your wife can be a partaker of the blessing God gave you. You can be a woman. God he called you. It doesn't mean he called your husband. Your husband have to submit to you. He just have to go with you. Your husband just have to go with you. But if your husband doesn't want, he must be dismissed. But yes, your husband is there with you, you will see. Either you're a woman, you are a man. When God called you, for those that are in your family, they can take that blessing if they remain faithful to you. But if they don't want, they cannot take that blessing. When God, each and every person, when you read the book of Genesis, chapter 9, you'll see God says, it is you, Abraham, Adam, Noah. He said, in all the family I see you. It was only Noah who was called by God, not his family. If you share the book of Genesis chapter 6, verse 9. Genesis chapter 6, verse 9. You will see Noah, he was the only one person who was righteous, not his family. But his family, they come to be blessed after. When Abraham stands strong, stick to God. He said, this is the account of Noah and his family. He said, Noah was the righteous man, the only blameless person. It's not about his sons. It's not about his wife. But his wife and the children will come after. It's about you yourself, because you believe. It's only for you. But because you keep on doing the good work, you keep on staying to God, God will now start to be blessing. He said, now, I want to work for your wife. I want to work for your children. When you keep on believing. You know, some blessings being limited because we are not continuing to serve God. You limit your blessing. That's why they say salvation is individual. But it cannot only to be individual. Because of you, your family can be saved. They can be. When you keep on believing. He said, this is the account of Noah. Noah is the only one person who was blameless living on earth. The only one. Abraham, he was also the only one. When God is telling Abraham, he was not telling you, I call your wife. No. He said, Abraham, leave your family. Abraham have a wife. It's not like he doesn't have a wife. He said, I call you Abraham, follow me. God did not call Abraham and he called his wife. No, he called Abraham alone. Later on, the wife will also be a partaker of the blessing. If the wife remain faithful. You understand? Are you there? Are you there with me? He says to Abraham, he says to Abraham, now your blessing, I give it to you, and I give also to your children. Everlasting covenant. But before, it was not everlasting covenant. You see, each and every time, God is changing word. It's based on how you give yourself to Him. This one remain faithful. Okay. My blessing to you, it become everlasting covenant. You will see when you read the book of Genesis chapter. Do you see when Jacob and his twin Esau, they were in the stomach? God already chose them, Isaac, Jacob, he made alliance with God already in the stomach. Isaac, Jacob, he was chosen already in the stomach. He said to Rebekah, you will give birth to 2 children. One will be young, but the elder will serve the younger one. So Jacob was already as he made a covenant with God in the stomach. Before they even born, Jacob was already having alliance with God. God did choose him. And then, because Jacob being faithful to God, and God will change the way. He said, Jacob, because I choose you, your blessing will pass also for your children. Can you share the book of Genesis? Genesis, when Jacob is born, Jacob is grown, obey God, continuing to God. God is saying, your blessing, it will pass also to your children. This is in the mouth of Isaac when Isaac was blessing Jacob, the alliance. Can you share the book of Genesis chapter 28, verse 4? He said, may God pass on to you and your descendant the blessing he promised to Abraham. Genesis chapter 28, verse 4. He said, may God pass on to you and your descendants the blessing he promised to Abraham. May you own this land, and wherever you are now living as a foreigner for God gave this land to Abraham. Do you see? I want you to restate again. He said, may God pass on to you and your descendant the blessing he promised to Abraham. When God, he made alliance with Abraham, being faithful, the blessing has to go to Abraham, to the land, also to the wife. When God is blessing, let's just say, if God is blessing you because you are being faithful, the time God is blessing your children, He will bless us the land. The blessing of the land and the children, it works together. You understand? The blessing, which means the second blessing, the second promise, it works together with the children and with the land. I'll bless your children and this land. And last one, it will be now the wife. That is how God is. He said, may God pass to you and your descendant the blessing. He finished there, and may God give you this land. Do you see the children and the land? This Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, he was not yet married. He didn't have a wife. Here, Jacob, he did not have a wife. But God is telling, I'll bless your children and I'll also bless this land. Later on, when you'll get married with a woman, a Rebecca, a Rachel, or Leah or Rachel, when you get married to them, and then God is start to bless them. He said, may God pass this blessing to you and your descendants, and this land to this, that. Is the same. When God was blessing Abraham, He said, this land, you can share it, is the same. Genesis chapter 13, verse 14, is the same. Genesis chapter 13, verse 14. He said, from the north, from the south, it belongs to you, and this land, I'll give it to your children, and this and that is the same. When you are blessing the blessing of the land, it is cutting with the children, and it's cutting with, if you start by the children, it's cutting with the land. If you start by the land, it's cutting with the children. It's the same. He said, look from north or south, and this and that. Can you share also verse 15? You'll see now it's speaking about the children. This land, I'll give it to your children. I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. It belongs to you and your children. He said, I'll give this land as far as you can see to you and your descendant. Or I'll give your children this land. Or I'll give this land to your children. It's not about wife here. The wife comes later. That is the criteria of a blessing, a promise. As you first you believe, it will start to you. You keep on believing, it will go to your children, and the land God is going to give it to you. And you keep on believing, your wife. That is how God works. When you share Genesis chapter 28, verse 15, when Jacob was sleeping, in a dream, God is making alliance with Jacob. Can you share verse 13? Verse 13. Genesis chapter 28, verse 13. Verse 14 until verse 15. Genesis chapter 28, verse 13, verse 14, and verse 15. He said, at the top of the stairs stood the Lord. He says, I am the Lord, the God of your grandfather Abraham, the God of your father Isaac. The ground you are living on, the ground you are lying on, belongs to you. I'm giving this to you and your descendant. When it comes to land, you see the children. When you see the blessing of the children, it also go to the land. So your descendants will be as numerous as a dust of earth. They will spread out in all directions. To the what? To the west. And to the what again? He said, to the west, He said, they will be spread all directions. All directions. He said,